Bamina. Our country, they hot. Since after this election, oh boy, this country, they hot too. So, the former Secretary to the Federation, Mr. Babachir Lawal, has come out, to say that Mr. P2B of the Labour Party won the election, won the presidential election, yes. That Atiku Abubakar came second and Tinubu came distant third. Now, I will play you Arise news analysis about what he said. And after that, then you now listen to what Mr. Lawal said. Relax and make sure you watch this video to the end. One important thing after watching it, please subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you. Make sure you subscribe.
Former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir David Lawal, who has been trending following his statement on Tuesday that Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi clearly won the last presidential election. Lawal, in a statement on Wednesday, said that he has been approached by some key allies of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu after he made the statement on Tuesday. Felix Morka, a spokesman for the All Progressives Congress, while reacting to Lawal's statement, described him as incapable of rational thought. The former SGF, however, offered his sympathies to Morka, saying that he was doing the job of a slave. He also lambasted President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the leaders of the All Progressives Congress for allegedly transitioning the APC to an Islamic party and challenged them to be courageous enough to change the name of the party from the All Progressives Congress to the Islamic Party of Nigeria. I mean, Ayo, I'm coming to you on this story. I'm sure you saw. When I saw the story trending, I was like, okay, it's one rhetoric after another, but it's not going to go away, is it?
It's not. He's responding. So he first made the statement and he'd postulated that in his estimation, and he'd taken time out to ensure that he had done his investigations, that Mr. Peter Obi won the elections and President Bola Tinubu came a distant third. The truth is that the matter is in court, so the court will decide and determine who truly won the election. So that's in court. However, then there became a word slinging match. First, Felix Morka of the APC came out to say that he wasn't, I can't remember the exact terms, but very unsavory terms used to describe him. And then Mr. Babachir Lawal, who was ready for anyone, came back and then gave them a detailed analysis of how he described not just Mr. Felix Morka, but the APC as a whole. He went back down memory lane, talking about how they started the APC, that the APC was meant to be a national party with national spread representing the national interests of Nigeria and Nigerians. Hence why they were very particular about zoning, ensuring that the chairman and the national secretary would not be from the same zone or from the same religion, so that they had the spread and appeal to all Nigerians. However, unfortunately, what we see now is what is now called, or he now terms APC as an Islamic party. Now that is, open to conversation and discussions and to see the merit of what he says. Of course, the APC came under intense criticism for fielding a Muslim ticket, despite all the explanations for it, married to a Christian and the likes. The system and what we have on ground is that we do have that government in place, and a number of people have said it's not reflective. A number of criticisms, of course, under this administration is with appointments. In fact, Mr. Lawal said he has not made any competent appointments. I beg to differ. Earlier today, we had Dr. Olubumitunji Ojo, who is one of the appointees, and I must say that he's done quite well, and a few other people. Not to say there haven't been some people who have been mute. We haven't heard from some ministers at all in terms of their plans. People started raising questions as to this competence that the president said he was going to bring in as part of his, genius way of leadership hasn't quite materialized. I believe it's, if I said something really important earlier today about public opinion and the importance of Nigerians being involved, and actively so, in governance and being free and able to air their opinions as to how they see governance, and no one should shut them up. Absolutely. Everyone has a right to speak and to give an opinion, of course, as long as it's legal and it's not against, there are no laws, or it's not slander or libelous. But it's important for us to be able to share ideas like this, and people should think. One of the things that is done is to guard people and actually stopping us from thinking and actually having an idea or opinion about the way that we are governed. Are people happy? Are people suffering in terms of what he said? Yeah, we see that, in terms of inflation, people's purchasing power, people have been plunged into poverty more and more. In terms of the people appointed, there are a few good ones and a few not so good ones. But also in terms of the APC, we have seen, look at what happened in the House, in the Senate between the Speaker, between the President and the Chief Whip. There does seem to be that the glory days of the APC perhaps is not what it used to be. Yeah. And the tenets of what the people who founded the party used to be. And Mr. Lawal can certainly speak because he was part of that foundation. Yes. And so a few things that we must take out from what he said, right. And also, aside from him declaring Mr. Peter Obi as president, that's the court to decide. Yeah. That's what I
like that statement you made. He was part of the foundation. Rufai, how did you feel when you saw that statement? That he made. I think that was on Monday, was it? Mm-hmm. Yes, where he said that Peter Obi won and Atiku came second and Tinubu came distant third. And then he had already done, he came up with some research and all of that, and he was sure of it.
I like to talk with facts based on the electoral umpires that returned elections in Nigeria. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu won the elections. Atiku Abubakar came second, Peter Obi came third. I don't know where Mr. Babachir Lawal saw his results from. And I have to state that because I always deal with facts. Yes, there's a case in court. The court will determine and make its decisions, and that's what we abide by. Secondly, as regards all the other things he said, yes, there are some things that he's spot on, and there are some that he's not spot on, as was rightly said. He has foundational and institutional memory of the APC, and he has a right to be able to espouse those, ideas based on the memory he has of the APC. But other people too will also say that all he's saying is sour grapes because he had actually left the APC. He's no longer a member of the APC and he's moved out of the APC. So he'll be able to say that. So there's a difference between his opinions and that of Mr. Moka. Right. In his opinion, he says things are not working. It's crystal clear. Since President Tinubu got to power, the Naira has taken a beating. One of the worst performing currencies in the world as we speak. From over 700 to over 1,000. To the dollar as we speak. Inflation is on the increase. Life has become harder for Nigerians. Manufacturers are complaining. Everybody's complaining. Right. He's spot on that. All right. The appointments too, we've also complained about nepotism, and it's crystal clear. In fact, recently, he had to take, after Falano spoke about it, for Mr. President Tinubu to go ahead and change the ICPC chief because before the Falano spoke about it, the ICPC chief and the EFCC chief were both from the southwest. All right, so there are many factors he has there. But let's just stick to the fact.
A former secretary to the government of the Federation, SGF Babachir Lawal, said in Abuja on Tuesday that the candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, won the February 25 presidential election and not Bola Tinubu as declared by INEC. Lawal, a close ally of Tinubu, has stated that available factual data as aggregated from several independent sources indicated that Obi got the majority votes while Atiku came second in the election. According to him, Tinubu came a distant third in the number of votes scored. In a strongly worded statement he issued on Tuesday, Babachir Lawal said, "I have resisted the temptation to engage in the contemporary political discourse since the May 2023 election Fox passed. I did this for two reasons. The first being that as an active player in the drama, I needed time to analyze and digest the data that led to the outcomes so I could arrive at an informed decision. The second being that the rainy season had just set in and it was necessary that I focus my attention on my farms, which are the mainstay of my livelihood. The current topical issues for political discourse and inquiry are whether or not Bola Tinubu won the presidential election and or that he was a priori qualified to participate in the election given his murky biodata as is now being publicly unveiled daily in an avalanche. My answer to the first inquiry is that regardless of whatever INEC or appeal court said or did, Bola did not win the election. Right from the start of the campaigns, Bola knew he was not going to win the election in a free and fair contest, so he decided to go by all means.
Available factual data as aggregated from several independent sources indicated that Obi got the majority votes while Atiku came second. Bola came a distant third in the number of votes scored. My answer to the second inquiry is that, given the now unfolding deluge of uncomplimentary information about who or what he actually is, ordinarily sound ethics and morality should have convinced him to voluntarily excuse himself from participation in the election. But this notwithstanding, I believe he still has time and opportunity to save himself this public humiliation and embarrassment to his person, both locally and internationally, by resigning so that he can give more attention to his health. After all, no one knows about the truism of these severely embarrassing and humiliating exposures about his person than the man himself. Leadership is all about integrity, sound pedigree, trustworthiness, and the ability to unite and instill hope and confidence in the people one seeks to lead. In these qualities, most Nigerians are in total agreement that Bola has them in very short supply indeed. But now, 6 months down the line, the chicken has come to roost as Nigerians have come to the realization that we have not got what we deserved politically. Confusion and despondency is now all over the nation as no one trusts the government to do what it says it will do. No one trusts the leader, and no one trusts appointees who are appointed as reward for their roles in the election or who had in the past helped him in his life. Bola, the president, and his group are now in government and are in full control of Nigerians' vast resources and opportunities. They are enjoying their offices while Nigerians languish in insecurity, poverty, and hopelessness. During the campaign, Bola mounted some platitudes about competence, but we are so far yet to see it reflect in his political appointments. It seems more like he is rewarding people who supported him to get the presidency at all costs. His band of appointees, this band of appointees that Bola is assembling into his government, don't care about Nigeria at all. Fair price will continue to gallop upward until only they can afford it. The Naira will continue to race downhill in a free fall until only they can afford anything in the market. Insecurity will continue its escalation until every community in the nation is consumed by it. Just to mention a few of these appointees, take insecurity for example. What do you expect an accountant to do as Minister of Defense? Was he not that one who was governor while Bello Turji et al. Freely terrorized Zamfara State? What about his CBN governor with a CV, a one-time chairman of a little-known bank employing 300 people in less than 12 branches clustered in the South and Southeast regions? Is there any doubt left as to his lack of qualification and experience for the job than that his first policy statement was to remove foreign exchange restriction from for the importation of 43 agricultural and related products? Certainly, Nigerians are in for a short thrift. The people running the government do not care a hoot about the Nigerian people. Their cronies are the petroleum industry players, while some are the banking system players, so as free fall of the Naira and an unregulated upward movement of oil prices both work for more profit for them. By the way, has anyone noticed the intolerance for free speech and dictatorship that is creeping upon us? Has anyone noticed the actions of the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC) of late?
Now you have finished listening to it and watching it. Can you now subscribe to my channel? Thank you. I know you subscribe.